Fabulous. Welcome everybody to Parish Council meeting 29th of September. So this is going to be a challenge because you need to click online. Here we go. Right. So apologies from anyone, Fen.
No, but Brendan and Tracy are struggling to connect, so they will be on shortly.
Okay, so we will let them join us as and when. They're not in the waiting room or anything like that, no?
No, they're not. Brendan says, continue without me, I can't get in. But
okay, and we are core it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, item 2, to approve the minutes from the ordinary parish council meeting on Tuesday the 15th of September. Anyone got any comments or amends?
No.
So we can sign those off. Fabulous. So Fen, we'll do that in the usual manner, yeah?
Yeah, when I see you next, I'll bring them all round for you.
Okie dokie. Oh, just lost my agenda. Okay. Item 3. Any matters arising from the minutes or the meeting?
Just that I've sent you over a letter about the planning, so if you could let me know what you think.
Yeah, this is the letter going to the minister, yeah?
Robert Jenrick, yeah. So just let me know when you have a chance to read that, if that's good to go or you want some amendments.
Okay.
I've got a meeting with Nick Watkins about the pond again next week, so I can update you further on that.
Sure.
That's it.
Okay. Item 4. Any declarations of pecuniary interest by members or the clerk on tonight's agenda? Anybody?
No.
Okay. Item 5. Questions or comments from members of the public or anyone with declared interest on the planning application. How long have we got for this? 10 minutes, yeah?
Yep.
Anyone got any questions or anyone want to say anything? Read the applications. I think, James, we've got you down on the agenda. If there isn't, then we will go.
We was pointing out that the admin on your screen is Tony Gadd, and he's the resident at 5.
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Tony. Hi. Is there anything you wanted to particularly say, read the application before we get to it? No, okay, fine. No. So it's kind of
it's straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Righty-ho. Item 6. Brief presentation from James re the beeswax Dyson development of Bakers Barn. Over to you, James.
Hello. How are we all?
Good.
Thank you for having me again. I'm sure you've sort of seen the planning documents and was just really hoping just to sort of talk you through it very briefly with our sort of thoughts and plans, if I may, and if that was useful, and show you a couple of visuals. I'm sure you all know Bakers Barn up on Dennisford Road, sort of building of residential sort of proportions and history, original census documents for East Ilsley and surrounding villages show habitation from sort of 1899 through to the 1911, 1939 and 1952 census, with various families living there and enrolled in the local school. After that, I think it was used briefly for some sheep housing and farming, and then sadly been left to fall into disrepair since then. We've obviously got a vision that we'd like to renovate it, restore it and bring it back into life, retain and improve the fabric, and turn it back into the original use as a residential dwelling. We've spoken to West Berkshire through the initial sort of pre-app process started in last November and got feedback in the middle of the year, and prepared an application on the back of that. we're very much aiming to keep the existing vernacular and existing elevations, the brick elevations with the slate roof, to replicate the current corrugated roof, same sort of colour and finish, which I'm sure you sadly saw has sort of had a slight battering after Storm Dennis or Kiara earlier in the year, and part of it stoved in. In terms of visual impact, we hope it will be minimal. We intend to, from the Dennisford Road side of the development, keep the existing brick retaining wall along the byway and build within that. And everything will be contained within the existing brick wall and hard standing area. So it'll be using the existing property in terms of the front door and the windows, and then an extension on the right hand side as well, with garden and amenity within the existing courtyard. So we're not encroaching on farmland or outside the area. Plan is to have 2 bedrooms downstairs, an open plan kitchen, sitting room, and then a little mezzanine area in the middle bit, centrally upstairs. I'm sure you've seen the plans. I've got a couple of visuals. I don't know if I can share screen, if that's allowed or possible.
I'll have a go. I think I've allowed it.
Host as disabled participant sheet screen share.
Okay, let me do that. There we go. All done now.
Okay, great. So just very briefly, that's what we've got today.
Yeah.
And that's what's there. So existing built form and windows, original chimney stack inside, and there's water and sink in this corner, windows, roof. And then there were, as you look from the Dennisford Road track, you can see old windows which have been blocked up on this elevation on the track side. And our vision is to keep what's there, add on a small extension on the right hand side, clearly set back so it's subservient in nature and you can read the history of the building when you come to it in the future, and keeping the same vernacular materials of the red sort of sandstone brick and slate roof, and then keeping the area here in the existing concrete as sort of courtyard, parking, and a little garden shed in the corner.
Okay.
And that's a sort of whistle-stop tour. If that's sort of useful, welcome any questions, any sort of thoughts or comments.
It looks good.
James, I was reading in the planning about the potential to use the track to the Mayfield farm, because obviously one of the challenges traffic mentioned is that currently Dennisford Road's not in the greatest of nick.
Yeah.
And of course, if you were to sort of smooth the whole thing out, it would potentially encourage a lot more traffic of the sort of off-road variety, not so much to get to this development, but to sort of access the road further up. And the other thing, which I'm not entirely sure everyone would think was a positive. So what's the sort of view in terms of both the road from the Compton Road up to this development and the possibility of the track also being available as a sort of an alternative entrance?
So we've put the access in from the Mayfield Farm junction on the edge of Compton. You come up and then there's an internal track already in place, which brings you up to the front elevation here. We're very aware that Dennisford Road is a byway open to all traffic. So we can't stop and can't have any policing on the traffic up and down there. We're suggesting the primary access will be through our private access.
Oh, okay. So that's actually seen as the primary access rather than Dennisford Road.
The site plan shows the red line coming through our track through Mayfield and then down to that Mayfield junction, which is a much safer junction in terms of visibility display and access there, rather than sending people up and down with a byway where they're going to get tackled up with walkers and cyclists.
And in terms of your picture, because obviously there's a site plan that I think puts in a sort of new boundary wall or something just after the grass on the picture,
No, so this is no new external features apart from we're retaining this wall, which is the wall with Dennisford Road track. And then no new hard landscaping to the front apart from some amenity grassland here.
And the existing barn which is what, slightly off the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be kept.
Kept at the moment, retained in place at the moment. So
Okay.
So is this going to be sold or rented?
rented, so added to our residential portfolio and rented out, hopefully to a local family, as we've done with many other cottages in East Ilsley.
Oh, cool.
Fantastic. Good news. Anyone else got any questions for James?
No, all good, thank you.
Thank you very much.
James, could you just close your screen share, please, so I could see everybody? Thank you. I've got to obviously fill in the parish observation sheet. So what would you like me to write?
Are we going straight on to the next item? Sorry. Which is the application, isn't it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought we were talking about.
We've gone straight from presentation to. Hi, Tracy. Glad you could join us. You haven't missed a huge amount. We've just had a quick presentation on Bakers Barn. Have you had a chance to look at it? Is she there? Can you hear us, Trace? On mute. No?
No, not on mute.
Oh, well. You might have to use the chat facility. Right. Okay. Technology is not with us tonight. Technology is not with us tonight. Right. Okay. Let's move on to item 7 then. In terms of people's thoughts on the redevelopment of Bakers Barn, anybody?
That's good. Yeah, I'm all for it.
So in terms of, are we supporting remaining neutral, or are we proposing any other comments?
Supporting.
Supporting.
Great idea.
Trace, are you supporting or remaining neutral or objecting? If I ask you, because we can't hear you, so we might have to do this by mime. If you're supporting, stick your hands up. Can you hear me, Tracy? I'm guessing she can't hear me.
I don't think she can. I've just sent her a message.
No.
Yes, she is.
Okay. So I must admit, I'm in support of it, because I think, you know, any building that's left to just fall down is a terrible waste in a time when we're so short of property, with so many people looking for somewhere to go, and the fact it's rented and hopefully will be rented to someone with some local connections, I think, is to be applauded.
Brilliant.
So I think it'll be pleasant to see it back as a dwelling, and I'm especially pleased about the access through Mayfield, which doesn't impact on Dennisford Road in any way, shape or form currently, but obviously does offer the option if people need it. Yeah, so it looks like we're supporting that, Fen.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Right. Righty-ho. On to the next item, which is to consider the application at 5 Sheepdown for Mr. and Mrs. Gadd. Anyone got any comments or questions or anything? Anyone?
No.
Mike?
No.
Tracy? No questions.
You can't hear.
Okay, this is going to be really interesting. I think the only even comment I've got was about the access at the end of the gate that I noticed, and I presume, because I'm not brilliant at looking at plans, I presume that goes back onto the road, does it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a pavement running down the side of the house.
Yeah, I thought so.
Quite new.
And the observatory sounds very exciting.
Well, it depends if we have any money left.
Oh, I see.
According to senior management, the kitchen's more important.
Oh well, I'd have to say I disagree with that. Will it be
Yeah,
sort
I
of Hubble sized or?
Yeah, no, I mean, the footprint of that is 2.2 meters circular and about 2.3 meters high. So it's actually no bigger than a garden shed. It's smaller than the garden shed. It's not permanent, obviously. It's
far
on
more
base.
exciting than garden shed.
Yeah.
Way more exciting. It's brilliant.
Far more exciting.
Well, if it gets built, I'll invite you around.
I'm guaranteed I'll come.
Well, clearly we can't comment on whether or not being invited to the opening of the observatory would have any impact on our decision-making process.
Right.
Oh, I forgot to say, Fen, we're being recorded, aren't we? So it's a bit late, but if anybody's objecting to being recording, if they could just let us know. Hopefully no one is. So going on to the actual actions for the development. Are we minded to support? If anyone could indicate.
Yeah, support.
Support.
Yeah, Tracy's disappeared. I'm minded to support it as well.
Yeah, support.
Fen, could you check with Tracy? As she appears to have gone again. And anyone got any matching comments or anything or additional comments? I can't think of any particularly. We haven't received any representation from anyone else, as far as I know. So it doesn't seem like it's desperately controversial in any way, shape or form, or that we aren't considering anything. Tony, is there anything you want to add or that we need to know? Or
No, I think it's all fairly standard stuff.
and
I don't think the observatory needs planning, but we stuck it on there because it's obviously not something you see very often.
No.
So the architect said just to put it there to be sure.
No, I think there is a new window, but the new window doesn't look out onto any new view or anything. It's the same as the other windows on the house. So.
Yeah, it's just it's just bigger. That's all.
Yeah.
Just gives us a view actually up over the downs, which is quite nice.
Okay, so Fen, I think we can take that as done. Thank you, Tony, and thanks, James, for coming to the meeting. It's really, really appreciated because sometimes, you know, plans are very much kind of very two-dimensional, and obviously the applicant always knows exactly what's going on. It's really helpful to have people here to ask questions, however stupid they may be. But sometimes it does help explain and bring to life what people are talking about and what they're planning. So thank you both for coming along to let us ask some questions. Right, so item 9, to consider whether to request our district council call in any planning applications to Western Area Planning Committee. Caroline, could I just ask in relation to, does this mention anything we've already done, or is it chiefly to do with the applications we've considering tonight?
Yes, for tonight.
Okay. Anyone particularly feel the need to call these in for planning? No. Okay, so that's a negative. Thank you, Caroline.
Good. So I don't want any more.
Righty ho. Item 10, to consider the quotation from CJM to repairs to the gate at Churchside. This is onto the wreck, isn't it, Fen?
Yeah, so it's the one right by Tommy's house.
Okay.
The brick pillar nearest to Tommy's. The brick has corroded and the whole gate has kind of come away. And it's propped up currently against the fence, but obviously we've got a risk with the brickwork falling. So I've had Chris go up and have a look. Yeah. And the quote that you've got in your agenda packs give us two options. He can fix that brick post, rebuild, repoint, install the gate back into the brickwork for £782. Or he can remove the brick pillar completely and replace it with timber for £395. So that's our options. That's what we've got to choose between tonight.
Can I just confirm though, if we go over 500 quid, do we not need more than one quote? Or is it more than that?
I think it's more than that.
That's okay then. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't impinging on any of our standing orders. Any thoughts, anyone? Which option should we go for? Timber or brick?
I think brick would be in keeping with what it is today. So I know it's more expensive, but it might last a lot longer.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I'll ask Tracy. Brick or wood fence post up at the wreck. Let's see what she says.
Mr. Meadows, you're on mute if you're talking to us.
She's not in this meeting. What's she doing?
Interesting.
Gosh.
Perhaps
There
it's
we
just
go.
yeah, excellent.
Shall I message Steve? Because Steve, can you hear us? We're having a bit of a nightmare.
Oh, there we go. He's back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you have a preference?
No, not at all.
Would you like to have a preference?
No, I'm fine with it.
I know, but brick or wood?
Brick.
It looks like brick it is, unless Tracy objects. Tracy, you okay with brick?
She's not replied yet.
Okay. She's watching Coronation Street. Word, whatever will last longest. Well, let's go for brick then.
Whatever will
Thanks,
last.
Tracy.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so brick it is.
Okay. Are you happy as well that for £69, he sorts out the post with the dog bin because it's broken?
Yeah,
I'm happy with that. Hopefully everyone else is.
Yeah.
Excellent. Righty ho, we're speeding through this.
Good.
Are we nearly there? He says. Going back to the top of his agenda.
We do ferrets.
Fen, we haven't got AOB. We're not allowed AOB, are we?
We're not allowed AOB, but
I thought we were doing ferrets.
yeah, it's not on the agenda though, Stephen. So legally.
So, Stephen, as a member of the parish, would you like to ask a question about ferrets?
Yeah, so basically, I thought we actually had agreed that we were going to sort the rabbits out on the common field.
I thought we did as well.
So I thought we had an agreement, and the agreement was we get some quotes, and then we discuss it. Now we've got an offer now that they'll do it for free. So surely we do. If we all agree that if they do it for free, then that's fine. Is that right, Fen? So we all agreed that we would get quotes.
We are, but do you remember that I met them and they all said they can't help us because of the location?
Yeah, but the new guys have said that they'll actually do it for free.
Why? Why would they do that for us? I don't understand.
Well, no, because the last time we had it done, it didn't cost us anything because the guys did it for free.
Okay.
So these guys have done it before.
Is it ferret training?
Yeah, basically. So basically, we need to, and I'll do it. I'll do the clearing of the edges, and then they can get their ferrets in to kill the rabbits.
So I think we agreed in principle last time that we would get 3 quotes for the work. So we've agreed in principle, but the quote is coming back. We don't need to, it's coming back at 0. So I would say that we can just approve that, but maybe
because if there's no cost, then the need for 3 quotes disappears, doesn't it?
Unless somebody's going to give us £50 to do it rather than just do it for free.
No. So there's no cost to us.
Then we don't need 3 quotes.
No, other than the time it takes to clear the land.
So I think the only thing we just need to ensure, am I right, Fen, is that we ensure their insurances and risk assessments are in place, Steve?
Yeah.
Because
you
what
have
we
to
don't
see a copy of those before work starts because of our own insurance.
because free or not, if they hideously injure themselves and then sue us for £1 million.
Yeah. So, Fen, will you call those guys and have a chat with them?
Yeah.
Because we're in principle, it's fine that they can do it.
It's dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because they need public liability insurance as well.
No, it's fine. So if you can speak to them and ask them if they have that, that'd be great.
Okay.
Brilliant. So back to questions from members of the public. Any members of the public got any comments or questions? No. Caroline, have you got any questions that might sort of be of any interest in terms of updatey kind of questions, or not, or is there nothing much going on?
No, I emailed Fen earlier to let her know that Newbury College are seeking some work experience opportunities for their carpentry students. So I don't know if Fen's seen the email yet. I've sent it out to all the parish clerks in this ward. Anything like making picnic tables or park benches or anything like that.
That might be worth talking to the folks at Millennium Green, perhaps, because they had a few that were broken some years ago. And perhaps we can put Newbury College in touch with James as well, because he may have something, don't know.
No, because all ours got repaired this summer. We paid £300.
Oh, shame. Shame.
Who is the contact for the Millennium Green?
I've been contacting Eric Saxton as the secretary.
Right. I'll forward my email to Eric and James then.
Yeah, and there's nothing else around the village that might need repairing, or because we talked about things like a notice board, but that's more varnishing, isn't it, than repairing as such?
Yeah, that and the bus shelter. They just
we could get them to do the fence at Penn Meadow that Lockinge refused to do.
Yeah, good idea.
And then send Lockinge the bill.
I think it's carpentry rather than just putting up fences.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We just paid Tony Howells to fix a couple of benches for us, so.
Okay. So we haven't directly got anything.
No.
Okay, but I think it's really cool that the college is reaching out beyond sort of, just Newbury and things like that. So I think, we should encourage anyone who can use the students to give them some experience. It's really important to sort of give them some practical stuff. It's just we don't really have much for them to do, sadly. So righty-ho. So if there's no further questions, I think we may be able to call it. Have we got anything else on the agenda, Fen?
No.
Really?
Oh, it's only 7:34.
Yeah, don't forget, this is just a planning meeting.
Okay. So it's not just the world record. Excellent. Fabulous. Well, thank you, everybody, and have a lovely evening. It's unusual to get so much of it back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brendan and Tracy.
Wi-Fi heaven in this village, yeah.
Oh, you should have been here for dial-up.
Jesus, it's bad. Bad.
Lovely. Well, let's
Cool.
close the meeting off. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and we have some clarity. So excellent. So thank you, everybody. Good night.
Cheers.
Thank you.